My name is Jeff Wheeler, and I'm the Director of Information Services for the Herman School Department, and I am also the Director of HermanNet, the community network in Herman.
HermanNet, as I see it, is what's putting Herman ahead of other communities, that we've recognized the importance of being a connected communication community, and in doing so, we've regionalized, a nice key catchword, with our own school department and saved money for the taxpayers while providing a service that they're all beginning to want, demand, and like.
HermanNet strives to provide ubiquitous computing on a common desktop. Computer opportunity everywhere for everyone. We're doing this through the use of public domain software, the clever recycling of hardware that would normally be relegated to a landfill, and the focus of our investment on the network itself, on the stuff that doesn't get obsolete quickly.
And it makes it so students that wouldn't necessarily have internet access or the means to be able to, or might not have access to these programs at home. You know, they might have a budget PC that comes with Microsoft Works at best, and all of a sudden they're working with all sorts of advanced programs that helps them accomplish their goals. That type of sharing and the internet access for all the community, I think it fits into the educational mission very much, and it adds value.
Initially, we had a lot of folks that were very resistant. You know, Linux was a big, new, scary world, and oh my God, it's not going to work, it's not going to work. Now we have, everybody's using Linux. I mean, everybody's excited about Linux. We have teachers who are, oh, look at this in the PowerPoint, and they're showing it now because they understand it, that they're more comfortable with it. You have it, you play with it, you're comfortable with it. You can access the stuff from home if you need to. We have teachers who do their work at home and then they send them in here to be printed. So they come out in the morning and everything is done. You don't have that with your laptops.
Well, each student has a username. You just put that in there. And then a password. And then you get this little screen. This is our Linux account.
Yet again, Tux the Penguin, the signal that you can log in and get to your common desktop from here. And you remember when I logged into an account at the high school, I had certain files, etc., available. Well, you just moved between buildings. You know, you come down from the high school to the middle school. What I'm going to do is just log in. And my office has just moved. You know, this is what every student understands here in this culture, that they're not carrying a computing device. The computing device is following them. Wherever you see Tux, that's your opportunity to get on board and log in.
You can go anywhere in the building. We have teachers now that have clusters of five, 6, and some even more than that. Your desktop goes with you, okay? From my standpoint as a librarian, it's great because there's personal accountability. If you're doing something you're not supposed to be, you can't blame it on anybody else. It's your desktop. From their perspective, that goes with them. So if they work here in a class and then they go to a study hall, and that study hall, they jump on the computer, they can pick up where they left off. It's not a matter of finding the right computer or a laptop, which is what you have in Caravel and Levant. You have COWs, computers on wheels, and basically once, if a class is signed out for second period and another class has a third period, you don't have access to that machine. Some of the kids do have their own computers, but are they working? Do they have power packs that are charged, et cetera, et cetera? So you don't have that problem here because you can go anywhere in the building, you can go anywhere in the district. If a student from the middle school is working on a paper and Mom and Dad bring them up here because there's a spring concert going on, they can jump on our computers and pick up where they left off from the middle school, which is not something that you're going to have anywhere else.
When I came to Herman, our front office staff, three employees that do our front office, they deal with the people. When I walked in here, each of them had 3 computers to do their day-to-day tasks. It was a mess. It wasn't all just because of things with internet connectivity, but we just looked at that and realized that we weren't utilizing the school's resources, and if we did, we could make things so much better. So within the first 6 months, we went from having 3 for each, 9 total, to 1 each, doing all the same jobs, doing them better, more efficiently, so they didn't have to get up and move around to do them. So that's the neat standpoint from me, what I see every day and what I liked about it. The bigger thing is that I deal with businesses that walk in here and will tell me that if Herman wasn't doing this, they wouldn't have made it their home. Because of that community connection and the town office being a resource to them and understanding what their business needs to succeed, they see more potential in this community and in this area. Whereas sometimes they go into towns and the towns don't see anything more than the tax dollars that they'll pay them for locating there. We see the resource and that we have to give something back to them. So it's created a strong relationship between us and the businesses that I think puts us way ahead of other communities our size in economic development.
With the money that we save, we focus our attention on investing in building and extending our network, the network that connects our schools into a campus, that extends that campus to our town offices, that extends into our homes via dial-up and wireless, and that extends into our business community via wireless.
We started using Herman.net approximately a year and a half ago. We started a Penske truck rental agency, which is located next door. The Penske agency has to run their software on an internet-based level. Therefore, Herman.net is essential to run that company. And we also use Herman.net for our dispatchers to take the laptop home. That enables our dispatchers to help our trucks on the road at night, on weekends, so they don't have to drive into the company all the way from their home. So basically, without Herman.net, we wouldn't be able to function with those two facilities.
We started getting the service about 6 years ago. 2 years prior to that, we went and took a free computer service course from the school to teach us to be end users, and it was a few years after that that we actually got our first computer, and they were very helpful. They taught us how to use our computers, how to communicate with Herman.net through the internet, and it's been an educational and growing process from them for us. It's been excellent.
I also want to add that if you have any kind of problem at all, you just call them up and they respond as quickly as possible, and you never go any more than, you know, a couple hours as a rule, and they help you any way they can. I mean, they've been very, very helpful.
Well, usually it's a matter of a few minutes. Sometimes, you know, I might have a problem, and a phone call sometimes will solve it, or if not, they'll send somebody over.
And usually that person will be there that very day. And the only time that we had to wait was this one time whenever we had to get the new antenna, and that took a couple of days till they could get the antenna. I don't know what they had to do to it, but they had to have something done with it before we could get it and put it up. But once he put it up, we were back online.
Herman has a 12-year history of innovation, and it comes out of, inspired by, great expectation and modest resources. Where we have great need and the desire to meet those needs, very innovative ideas come up and are quickly implemented. And the more we've done this over the years, the quicker we are to do it. We are now, as a community, as part of our culture, to think out of the box as a result of this.
As a taxpayer, I find this very exciting because we are spending our money very wisely. We, meaning Herman.net, they think outside the box and look for solutions. I'm sure anybody in the state of Maine has been someplace where they've seen a pile of discarded computers, be it at a business, at a school system where things have been upgraded. And what Herman.net does is takes this equipment and makes it into usable equipment for the schools, in the schools, and allows outside standalone computers to talk to the school.
One of the things that I think that is really missed about the Herman.net experiences is that it brings so many people together. In most communities, the town manager and superintendent, they know each other, but their relationship may not be the strongest or the best of situations, whereas in Herman, we work together so well because we like to, and we also have to, because we recognize the cost savings that we could deliver. In some communities, and I just asked this of a resident from Bangor, I said, can you name the IT director in Bangor High School? Well, they couldn't. In my community, where usually businesses don't know anybody at the school departments unless they have kids in them, they know Jeff Wheeler's name. And he's the head of our IT department. And that is so unique that rather than separating ourselves, and it's kind of unique to say that the internet did this for us all, but it did. It's what's bringing us together. It brought the Herman School Department and the town, the public, and the businesses all into the same room for the same goals. So it's been a very unifying experience for all of us, and I think if we can keep building off that, things are just going to keep getting better and better.
We've run into educators at different places in our life and have told them about the service at Herman Net, you know, the free internet service and stuff, and they were amazed. I mean, it's like, why can't we do this in our town? It's like, you know, people are paying so much money for connection services and that, and they had no idea that it even existed in Herman, for one thing. And once they found out and asked us a lot of questions about it, and we explained how it worked and stuff, they were just amazed. They wanted it for their town. So, you know, I mean, you can't beat that for advertisement.
I think you will find that this is very unusual for, I'm going to say, for the East Coast. I am from Massachusetts. We are still under the old, I'm going to say, the business model, where every 3 to 5 years you replace the machine, the terminal, the hard drive. You have to upgrade the programs every year to 2. You have the license fees. I was amazed when I came to Herman. I met Mr. Wheeler for the first time, and we sat down and started talking, and he talked about almost unlimited machines at a fraction of the cost, with software upgrades that would be across the district in a matter of minutes or even seconds. It's very difficult without seeing to comprehend that you are able to do this in an educational setting when you have colleges and schools around the country, including the East Coast, that are not using this or utilizing this. It makes no sense. Fiscally, it makes more sense than any other program out there, application out there, device out there. I am not a fan of the laptop program because of the cost associated with it. You can put a Linux machine or Linux terminals throughout your building, make them available to students at a fraction of the cost. And that's one of the exciting things about these machines and devices. But coming from Massachusetts, the thin client is not there. And having spoken to some of my colleagues down there, they've been interested with the idea. But the hard part is having that model that can be copied and having people come take a look at it and see, wow, you really can do this. And I think the more schools see it and the more businesses see it, the more we're going to see the Herman model or a model similar start to develop in Maine.
Being a Mainer and recognizing that this is something that anyone can do in any community. These are uncommon ideas that belong to all of the people of Maine. I would love to see this become an opportunity for every community in the state of Maine, every academic community in the state of Maine. I'd love to see it be the basis for economic development across our state. And I'd like to see it connect our state in the way that our leaders have envisioned to the rest of the world.